Welcome to a new e-learning paradigm, a plusmap.ai.
Hey, welcome to the Explainer. So today we're going to tackle a problem that, honestly, you probably face all the time, just with different stuff. We're going to use just a little bit of microeconomics to figure out how to get the absolute most happiness for our money. All right, so here's the deal. Picture this. You're at your favorite cafe. You've got a crisp $18 bill burning a hole in your pocket. You can spend it on coffee. You can spend it on pastries. So, what do? How do you choose the perfect mix to make you as happy as possible? It sounds easy, right? But believe it or not, there's a real science to getting it just right. Okay, let's dive into this dilemma. To make the perfect choice, we need to know two basic things. First, how much happiness we actually get from each item. And second, well, what they cost. Okay. First up is this idea called marginal utility. And look, don't let the fancy term fool you. All it really means is happiness points. It's the extra happiness you get from one more of something. You see the pattern here, right? That first coffee, oh yeah, it gives you a huge 36-point happiness boost. But the second one, still good, but a little less at 30 points. This is a super important idea in economics called diminishing marginal utility. The more you have of something, the less you enjoy the next one. And here are the prices. Super simple. To make our lives easy, a coffee costs $3 and a pastry also costs $3. So with our $18, we can buy exactly 6 things in total. But which 6? That's the big question. So how in the world do we decide? We can't just go for the highest happiness points, right? Because the cost matters. We need a way to combine these two things to figure out our real bang for your buck. And this is our secret weapon. It's called marginal utility per dollar. It's a really simple, but honestly a game-changing idea. It tells you exactly how much happiness you're getting for every single dollar you spend. This number right here, this is the key to unlocking the smartest choice and getting the most satisfaction possible. And you know what? The math is super easy. All we do is take those happiness points from that first table and we divide them by the price, which is $3. So check it out. That first pastry gives us a massive 15 happiness points for every dollar we spend on it. The first coffee? Still great, but it's 12 points per dollar. See? This table is now our roadmap. All right, we are ready to go. We've got our bang for your buck numbers. Now it's time to actually spend that $18. One purchase at a time, always making the smartest move. Okay, first $3. Let's do it. We look at our new table, and what's the biggest number we see? It's 15, right? That's for pastry #1. So boom, we buy that. We've got $15 left. What's the next best deal? Interesting. We've got a tie. Both the first coffee and the second pastry give us 12 points per dollar. Since they're equal, it doesn't matter what order we buy them in, so let's just grab them both. That's 2 more purchases, another $6 spent. We're now down to $9 in our pocket. All right, let's keep this shopping spree going. Looking back at our chart, the next best thing on the menu is coffee #2. Coming in at 10 points per dollar. Sold. We'll take it. Now we've got $6 left to spend. The next highest value is 9 for pastry #3. Let's get that. Now we're down to our last $3. And for that final purchase, the best deal left on the board is coffee #3 with 8 points per dollar. Perfect. And just like that, we're out of money. We made 6 purchases, we spent all $18. We stuck to the plan, always picking the best bang for our buck, and now we have our final haul. So after all that strategizing, what did we actually end up buying? Let's check out our shopping basket and see what peak happiness really looks like. And there you have it. The absolute best happiness maximizing combo is 3 coffees and 3 pastries. It's perfectly balanced, which kind of makes sense, right? Since they both cost the same. We used up our entire budget and we followed our rule to the letter. But here's the real question, isn't it? Okay, so we know this is the most happiness we could possibly get, but how much is it? What's the final score on the happiness-o-meter? To get that number, we have to go all the way back to our first table, the one with the original happiness points. We just add up the points for the 3 coffees and the 3 pastries we chose. So for the coffees, that's 36 plus 30 plus 24. And for the pastries, it's 45 plus 36 plus 27, which brings our grand total to 198. That right there is the absolute maximum happiness you could get for your $18. Trust me, any other mix of 6 items, 4 coffees, 2 pastries, whatever, it would have given you a lower score. We totally nailed it. We've officially won the cafe game. But you know, the real world is messy. Things change. Prices don't just stay the same. So let's throw a little curveball into the mix and see how a smart, rational person like you would react. And here's the price shock. All of a sudden, the price of a pastry doubles. It jumps from $3 all the way up to $6. Meanwhile, coffee stays at a cool $3. So, how does this completely mess with our bang for your buck calculation? And more importantly, what we decide to buy? Well, this changes literally everything. That first coffee, it still gives you a solid 12 happiness points per dollar. No change there. But that first pastry, since the price doubled, its bang for your buck gets sliced in half. It plummets from 15 all the way down to 7.5. All of a sudden, coffee is looking like a way better deal. And this is the whole point. Your behavior would change. It has to. You'd automatically rerun the numbers in your head, and this time, you'd see that you're getting way more happiness for your money from coffee. So, being the smart consumer you are, you would naturally start buying more coffee and fewer pastries with that same $18. Look, I know this whole thing might feel like a classroom exercise, but it's really not. This is what your brain is doing constantly, every single day, whether you're aware of it or not. Let's bring it back to the real world. This whole process we just walked through, it's a perfect example of one of the most fundamental ideas in economics, the law of demand. It's simple. When the price of something goes up, its bang for your buck goes down, and so you want less of it. It becomes less attractive. You do this without even thinking when you grab the store brand instead of the name brand, or when you decide to wait for that big sale. So I want to leave you with this final thought. This isn't just about money. You do this with your time, with your energy, with your focus. You're always making these kinds of trade-offs. So ask yourself, what's the marginal utility, the bang for your buck, of the next hour you spend scrolling social media versus, say, reading a book or calling a friend? You have a budget of 24 hours in a day. It's up to you to spend it wisely. Thanks for joining me on The Explainer.
We hope you're excited for what's next. For more learning materials, please visit aplusmap.ai.